Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I have my fresh face. I do not have any makeup on, but I'm actually gonna be getting it on in just a few minutes. I just wanna do a quick little reset on my bedroom in here. This is technically the guest bedroom, but this is where I've been staying. And I just wanna do my little morning routine, even though it's like 11 now. It's been one of those days. Like, I've been so productive since like 7 this morning. I haven't even gotten to this part yet. So we're gonna get really productive today. I'm gonna do a home reset. As you guys know, I have been going through a lot of things lately, and with that, I have been in therapy for I don't even know how long, but I wanna kind of talk about some different things that I've learned in my time in therapy, and I also talked to some of my sisters who have also been in therapy, and we're gonna do like a little trickle down therapy clean with me home reset today. If you haven't heard of trickle down therapy, I don't know if it's an official thing, but it is for me and my sisters, and I'll chat about it with you guys as we reset our homes. Okay, so basically trickle down therapy is, like I said, I don't know if it's like an official term, but my sisters and I, well, some of my sisters and I have been to therapy a lot of different times for different situations. And the funny thing is, like, we will be talking and, somebody's going through something and we'll have conversations like, oh my gosh, this is something that I learned in therapy, and then we share it with each other. And so basically the information is coming from one of our therapists, and then as we're just talking and connecting with each other and being there for one another, we end up sharing some techniques and things that we've learned in our own therapy. And so we just kind of call it trickle down therapy because I don't know, that's kind of what it is. So as I'm resetting my home today, I'm going to be sharing some trickle down therapy advice and techniques and things that I've found very helpful for me, and also that my sisters have found helpful for them as well. Okay, one of the biggest things that I feel actually very good about lately for the first time in my life is actually practicing self-care. Now, I'm gonna get into self-care a little bit more later on in the video, just because I think it's actually like a pretty big deal. But I feel like I used to just think self-care was like, okay, make sure you put lotion on and make sure you do eye masks and take a bubble bath and things like that, just kind of pamper yourself almost. But there is a lot more to self-care. So like I said, I'll talk about that a little bit later on. Self-care is really a lot more than just pampering yourself. I feel like it tends to almost feel like a vanity thing, and it just, oh, that feels nice. But there's actual studies and reasoning to do self-care for yourself and like how good it is for you. It can actually release adrenaline from your body. It can also give you dopamine hits, which literally makes you happier. And especially when you're in high stress situations and you're dealing with a lot of things that's putting your body into like a fight or flight mode, it is like so incredibly important. And honestly, I feel a massive difference when I am practicing self-care. Sometimes I fall off the wagon a little bit and I really feel a big difference. So if you're not practicing self-care regularly, it doesn't have to be a big thing. I'll give you some ideas for that a little bit later on, but definitely make that a priority. I can attest it makes a massive difference. Okay, so we are gonna take a few minutes to put on some makeup. Now, since I was like 12 years old, I have been a face painter. I literally have just been like, oh, shh. I felt like contouring and things like that has been overwhelming to me because I just don't know what to do. I recently, within like the last month or so, have had the opportunity to try out Merit, and I have loved Merit. I honestly wish that I would have recorded myself the first time I put it on because I was literally just like, oh my gosh, I was shocked. I have been familiar with Merit because one of my best friends, Lynn, has just raved about Merit so much, and she said they're so incredible, the coverage and the colors and everything. And so I'm gonna take you along with me today as I do my makeup and just kind of talk about a few of the products and show my favorites. And I'm so beyond excited to be teaming up with Merit in today's video. I got all the goodies. I'm so excited. I don't know if you've noticed, but like my makeup has been looking so much better. Also, how cute is this little bag? It's kind of like a corduroy. It's machine washable, and it's just like the cutest little makeup bag, and it comes free with your first purchase. I got some really good deals for you guys, and I'm excited for that, but let's get into it. So first off, I just want to say one really amazing thing about Merit is their products do not clog your pores, which is incredible, especially with all the stress I've been under. I've been fighting a lot of acne and just all that kind of hormonal things. Using Merit, like my skin, I feel like so clear. So of course that means it's perfect for sensitive skin, which I love. Okay, so I'll chat about them as we go, but let's jump into it. Now, one thing that I've loved about Merit products is they feel so light on your skin. You just honestly don't even feel like you're wearing any makeup, which is always my favorite. I'm not like a cake on your makeup kind of girl. I just kind of like accentuating the natural beauty. So this little stick right here is called the Minimalist. It's cool because it really is like an all-in-one stick. It conceals, it gives you good coverage, but again, it's going to look like your real skin. So I have the color Oak and I have the color Bisque. You will just twist it up. We are just going to put it all over. And although I'm putting it over, like I'm doing a light layer, just look a little crazy for just a second, but look at how it just blends so seamlessly. It almost looks like it's just airbrushed, but how good does that look? Just like super, super fresh. I was very overwhelmed with the idea of contouring, but I'm gonna show you these two products. So this one right here is the Bronze Balm, and this one is the Day Glow. So basically you have your dark contour and then you have your highlighter. So my friend Lynn taught me how to do this on Marco Polo, but basically you are going to put the dark shade anywhere that you want to like sit deeper in your face. So your eyes start up here, do the sides of your nose, right under where you want your cheeks to kind of pop up. To make my lips stick out a little bit more and look a little poutier, I'm gonna go underneath and above my lips. Then on your chin, because you don't want like the double chins action, we're just gonna go right along the bottom. Now seriously, you're gonna be looking crazy for a minute. Trust the process. Then you're gonna go in with the Day Glow, which is your highlighter. And you're going to put it anywhere where you want it to lift off your face, right? Like you want it to look more full. I'm gonna do a little bit right here, and then kind of under my eyes just slightly. I'm gonna go at the tip of my nose, right above that dark contour line. That's gonna give you more accentuated cheekbones, and you can totally customize this. I'm not a professional at all of this, but that's what I love about Merit too, is I feel like you don't have to know everything about makeup. You don't have to be like a beauty guru to get it right. Look at the blending on this, it's beautiful. I have gotten so many compliments since wearing my Merit makeup. It actually has just made such a big difference, and I know the camera never does it justice, but I hope that you guys can see that coming through. It really looks so beautiful. And it just makes you look like flawless. I don't know, I love it. So I'm literally just gonna blend this. And then this part on the bottom, I like to kind of drag it around and then I pull it down onto my neck, and that makes sure that your neck gets coverage too, but it's going to be like completely blended out and you're not gonna have any type of lines. But do you see how it doesn't look like I have caked on makeup, and it doesn't feel like it at all, not at all. Okay, this one right here is the blush. It's the Flush Balm. My eyebrows, they are like very thin up in here. I've literally looked into like microblading because they drive me nuts. My jaw was on the floor the first time I used this eyebrow pencil. You can actually make like little eyebrow hairs with this. My mom was watching me do my makeup the other day and she was like, what is that? Because your eyebrows look so good. I just love it. I think it's so pretty. I don't think it looks overdone. And I think it's so like beautiful and just natural looking. It doesn't feel like I've caked on makeup at all, but I have the contouring and the highlighting and the full coverage from the Minimalist. Like, I'm just in love with this stuff, and I hope that you guys try it and you love it too. It's incredible. And I wanted to share with you guys the deals that they have. So like I said, when you put in your first order, you will get a free makeup bag just like this. It is so pretty, you guys. I just think it's beautiful. It's like very minimal, but it goes with everything. You can take it on the go with you. You can store it away in your bathroom. You can even keep it on your sink because it just looks so cute and like aesthetic. And then like I said, I'm going to link all the different products that I used on my face today and all the shades as well. But I just wanted to mention, using the links down below, you can get the lowest price sets. And then also Merit is offering you guys exclusive discounted set bundles. So definitely check it out. They do not have like discount codes and a lot of sales. So right now is definitely the best time to grab things, but I will have all that information down below. Let me know what you guys think now that I am a recovered face painter. I'm so happy with it. I think it looks so pretty, and it definitely boosts my confidence and just makes me feel good. I definitely have felt like this is a little bit of a form of self-care for me, and I'm loving it. So anyway, thank you so much to Merit for teaming up with me in today's video, and let's get back into things. Okay, so let's really start getting into the trickle-down therapy a little bit more. So over the last few weeks, I've talked to my sisters and gotten some ideas from them that they've learned in therapy. I've also gone through some of my own notes that I've taken during my own therapy sessions, and then things that I've kind of put into action during the last several months and just over the last few years that I've learned through therapy. So one of my recent favorite things that I've learned that has like truly helped me so much is to listen to your body. Now I'm gonna go more into depth on this, but really you want to pay attention to how your body feels when something is happening. So I know for me, I will second guess myself, like, I don't know, maybe it wasn't that bad. Maybe it wasn't that big of a deal. Maybe I'm just being dramatic. And I kind of try to make excuses, and your mind is always going to try to make sense of situations, but your body knows things, and your body typically knows things first. So when you're in a situation, if all of a sudden your stomach is feeling really sick, you're feeling a lot of tightness in your chest, that is telling you that something is wrong. Something is going very badly, and you just need to trust your body in those moments and really pay attention to that. And ever since I have started to do that, I've really been able to actually trust myself a lot more, kind of explain situations away, like, I don't know, maybe I'm just crazy. Maybe I'm just imagining this. Maybe I'm just whatever. And it's like, no, really pay attention to your body and just give yourself that trust. It keeps yourself emotionally safe by being aware and trusting your body. And by the way, as you're watching today's video and hanging out with me, which by the way, I'm so thankful you're here, I would love to hear any trickle-down therapy thoughts that you might have pop up in your mind as you hang out with me today.
That can't be found among the young, where you're settled and you're safe in your own skin. You might not see it in the movies, but you know it's real, because every wrinkle tells the story of the places you have been. Countless ocean hours forming freckles on your face, wildflowers that will only bloom with age, learning how to love who you are along the way. You're growing older and more beautiful each day. If you feel a little tired, it's because you've come so far, and your eyes reflect the grace you have received. Oh, you made it through the fire. It's what made you who you are. It shines like strands of silver, and it feels like being free. Countless
One thing that I have dealt with a lot very recently, I mean, I've kind of dealt with it on and off over the last few years, but especially in the last several months, it has been a big part of my life, and that is anxiety. I feel like that's something that a lot of people deal with. And one thing that my therapist talked to me about, and it really kind of helped me understand anxiety a little bit better. So you're going to imagine a river, and on each side of the river, you have the riverbanks, of course. And basically, your emotions are going to kind of splash around, but they are meant to stay within the riverbanks, right? Now, basically, we're going to imagine the water is your emotions and your thoughts. And when your emotions and thoughts stay within the riverbanks, that is you staying present in the moment. That's mindfulness and making current choices. But when your emotions and thoughts go into the future, that splashes on the top of the riverbank. And basically, that is where anxiety lives. And when your thoughts go into the past, that is where depression and hopelessness lives. And that's kind of like past thinking. So that really, I don't know, it just like clicked for me. But the interesting thing about that is like future thinking and past thinking are both things that we cannot control. We cannot change the past and we can't control the future. So those are really just giving us worry for no reason, like no benefit to us. So it's best to understand that and then actually just really try to stay in the moment and focus on like the choices that you're making in this moment and not worry about what happened and not worry so much also about what's going to happen. Just make the best choices that you can with the information that you have. And then you can also just work on having compassion for the choices that you're making. Now that has really actually helped me not have as much anxiety and just be able to kind of deal with that and kind of work down from that. But there are definitely moments where it takes over my mind. In those moments, one of the things that has helped me so much is box breathing. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but basically you are going to imagine a box in front of you and you are going to let your eyes follow up the side of the box and breathe in for 4 seconds, like 4 long seconds. Next, you're going to let your eyes go along the top of the box and breathe out for 4 seconds. And then you're going to do the same thing as you follow along the bottom of the box back to your starting point for 4 seconds. Now, this is going to basically force your body into controlled breathing, and that just helps to kind of trick your mind into thinking that you are in control, and it then calms down your anxiety. So if you have not tried box breathing, definitely try it. It makes a massive difference for me. It's helped me so many times.
I was young, I was dumb then, running wild, low on self-esteem. Girl, you were everything I didn't need, but I think that's probably why we never got that far. Making out in my broke down car, tried to change me, I was too far gone.
So right here, I was actually on the phone with my sister. I was talking to her about something that she's going through. And one of the things that I've talked to her about is setting boundaries, which I know it's always so much easier said than done, especially if you are more of a people pleaser or like kind of a softer personality. I feel like setting boundaries feels very difficult, at least it has for me in the past. Boundaries actually are so incredibly healthy. And one thing that my therapist said to me, because months and months and months ago, I was trying to set boundaries and I was not really able to hold them because I would feel guilty for setting boundaries. And she told me boundaries without consequences are just requests. So make sure if you are struggling with setting boundaries that you are figuring out what your boundaries are, but also what are the consequences going to be if someone doesn't respect that boundary. And then I know it can be very uncomfortable if you're not used to setting boundaries and holding them, but really it is so important to hold your boundaries. You will feel so much more aligned with yourself, and you will also feel just so much more emotionally safe and protected. It's so good. And I also feel like it will show you who has respect for you. If they truly have respect for you, they are not going to have a problem with the boundaries that you're going to set.
Making out in my broke down car, tried to change me, I was too far gone. But can't you see I'm better now? Don't go breaking my heart.
All right, the kitchen is looking so nice and clean. I got a bunch of strawberries. They were on sale for like $2.50 for a big case. So I'm gonna take a bunch, I'm gonna cut them up. Maybe not right now, maybe later, but I'm gonna cut them up and like maybe freeze some and put some in the fridge. I'm gonna make a really yummy drink. I haven't made it before, but one of my good friends, I was having a rough day and she just actually happened to message me that day and say, hey, you wanna go to dinner? And I said, yes, please. And it was so nice to get out of the house and just go spend some time together. When we got there, it was a place called Humble Pie. I don't know if you have it near you. If you do, it's delicious, please go. She said, you have to get the basil berry lemonade. And I listened and I'm so happy I did. It was delicious. Oh my gosh, it was so good. So we're gonna make that. I haven't actually tried to make it at home, but it seems easy enough. And I usually think like, if I wanna do something, I can figure it out and either I'll learn better how to do it next time or it'll be great. So we're gonna try together. Okay, so what you're gonna use, first of all, I wanna say you can make homemade lemonade and that's perfect. To make homemade lemonade, you need water, sugar, and fresh lemon juice, and it's delicious. But just to make it quick and easy, I got this stuff, the Simply Lemonade. It's so yummy. And I just got the light version, so it has like less sugar and stuff. Actually, it's sweetened with stevia, which I love. Then you need some strawberries, of course. And then I got myself a cutie little basil plant. What you wanna do is just muddle the basil. If you do cocktails or anything at home, I'm sure you have the stuff for it. I don't, so I'm actually just gonna use this little mortar and pestle that I got a while back for prettiness, but I'm gonna use it for function today. It's just this like tiniest little one. It's a little baby guy, super cute. So basically I am going to end up maybe slicing up 2 strawberries just to make it really, really yummy. I'm not dirtying extra stuff, so we're just doing it. I have a little strawberry in my cup for prettiness and for flavor. And then we're literally just gonna take off 4 good sized basil leaves. I know it sounds kind of weird, but I swear it's really, really good. First, I want to just like crush up the basil. And I know that you do want to muddle this a bit like that because you want to like really have the basil release its flavors. Then I'm just gonna take the strawberries and put them in here too. And I'm just gonna crush these up a little bit just so I get like more of that strawberry juice. Then we're gonna take all of our strawberries and we're just gonna put them right into our cup and then we're just gonna fill it with lemonade. Oh my goodness. It's so pretty because you have like the green and red like the green basil and the red strawberries kind of poking around. You have like full leaves in there, so it just looks like very fancy. And it's just like a light berry basil flavor with like super refreshing lemonade. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna try it and see how it goes. Okay. Please make this. It's so good. I think I might next time muddle the strawberries, like smash the strawberries even a little bit more. That's so good and refreshing. And I'm guessing that like the more longer you let it sit, like the more the flavors will kind of meld together too, but this is delicious. Make it, please let me know how it goes. And I will tell my friend that she's amazing for introducing me to something so fantastic. So you're welcome. It's gonna be like the perfect spring and summer drink. So good. Alrighty, moving right along to the next trickle down therapy idea or concept that I want to share with you guys. So I actually feel like I'm a pretty emotional person. Like I feel like I'm very in touch with my feelings and all of that. We all go through a lot of things and then we kind of learn different coping mechanisms. And I realized in one of my most recent therapy sessions. I typically go once a week and it is, oh my gosh, so needed. I feel like I would be very lost right now without my therapist. I'm so grateful for her. But anyway, I found that when my emotions get too heavy, I will end up just shutting down. And so I kind of try to stuff them away if it gets like too much. And she has recommended to me, like, make sure that you set apart time to like just let yourself feel everything, especially if you're going through something like very intense and very heavy. You just want to make sure like you're not just putting everything off and not dealing with it, because it's just like putting a band-aid on a broken bone. It's not going to actually fix anything. It's just gonna like kind of appear like, I don't know, I guess maybe it's kind of taken care of, but it's not actually going to heal it. And so you have to really sit with your feelings. Let yourself feel it. You can go in a quiet room. You can even just go sit in your car, like just go to a quiet space and just really allow yourself to truly like feel everything very intensely. I know it doesn't sound fun, especially if you're dealing with something really heavy, but I know for me, like I used to have like once a month, I would literally just be like, I need to go cry. And I would have a really intense cry session. I would just sit there and bawl and I wouldn't even know exactly what I was crying about. Sometimes I would know what I was crying about, but letting yourself sit with the feelings and just feeling the discomfort of that, it doesn't feel good, but you feel better in the end because you're actually allowing your body to deal with those feelings and process them. And then once you have been able to process them, it's easier to deal with them later. And like you understand things better. And just trust me, it's not comfortable. It's not nice, but you're better for it. So I'm encouraging you, if you are dealing with something heavy, or even if you're not, like just let yourself sit in quiet. Don't have a lot of distraction around you and let yourself just feel. It's really good. Trust me. Okay, so here I'm obviously in my office, which is a complete mess. My office is just a place, I don't know why it gets like this. It's kind of like my mind. It's very cluttered right now. It just has a lot going on in here, and it can sit in here and it's not the biggest deal versus like the kitchen kind of has to be tidied regularly. And so the office, it just kind of gets dumped on a lot, and that's how it goes. But I will say, when I spend time in here cleaning it up and resetting it, it truly feels so good. And I think that's kind of almost therapeutic in a way. Like, clean up your space and it really cleans up your mind. Like, it makes you feel so much more at peace, or at least it does for me. Now, just to explain a few things in here, I do have like some PR packages that I need to go through. I also have like 3 decluttering bins that I decluttered months ago, and they've just been hanging around our house. I haven't even put them in the car. That's how behind on life I am right now. If you're feeling like you're struggling, I guarantee you are not alone, not even close. Like, there are so many people that are going through something similar, or even if it's not a similar situation, like they're at least struggling. So just don't feel like you're the only one struggling. I kind of hate the saying like misery loves company, because if I'm miserable, I don't want other people to be miserable too, but also it feels nice to know you're not alone. You know what I mean? So don't judge yourself. Just fake it till you make it. Work on your mindset a little bit, work on your home, tidy things up, whatever it is you need to do, get going with something and you will feel so much better, but give yourself a lot of grace in the process. And just like my very, very messy, cluttered office, there will be a point where at the end, it looks and feels so different. And you can apply this to your house, you can apply it to your mind. Everything can be fixed with time and a little bit of love and a little bit of effort.
With a slow sunrise, the fireworks on the 4th of July. You're the first one I wanna know, you're the last one I wanna see. The reason why I'll find who I wanna be. Road map, lighthouse, my street light that shines down. A house is just a house until you fill it up. A life's just passing time until you fall in love. There's a king for every castle, a queen for every throne. So baby, take my hand, let's make this house our home, yeah.
So as I'm vacuuming the floors that really needed it, you can kind of see in the hallway there was those decluttering bins that I am happy to now share. They have been officially donated. But speaking of decluttering, well, two things. One, I think I'm gonna do some decluttering next week because I just want more peace in my life, and anything that invites peace into my life right now, I am like, please give it to me. I am just craving any kind of peace. But also, speaking of decluttering, I feel like you can also declutter your mind, which brings me to my next trickle down therapy thought, which is facts versus feelings. I think a lot of times we mistake feelings for facts. When somebody tells us something about ourselves, we might think, oh, I wonder if that's true. Or we might even tell ourselves something about ourselves and start to believe maybe that is true. But the thing with facts and feelings, I think it's so important to remember, is fact can actually be proven, whereas feelings are just that. They are not always based in logic, and they are not always based in truth. So make sure that when you are thinking about something or something's really bothering you, think about like, is this actually a fact? Is this actually a true thing? Or is this just how I'm feeling about it? Or is this just maybe somebody said something to you and you're starting to question like, is that really real? Is that really true? Or is that just somebody's opinion where it really isn't based in truth? So I have found this to be so incredibly helpful for me, and just making sure that I'm, one, not getting wrapped up in things that aren't even true, but also that if something cruel is said about me or to me, I don't have to believe everything that is being said. I can actually just fact check myself. Also, super side note, I know I've done laundry on my kitchen island before, but it was like amazing. I don't know what it was about this time, but now I'm officially doing like all the laundry on the kitchen island because I just think it's so comfortable. Like, it's the perfect height. As long as it's cleared off and wiped down, then you're good to go. But it's just like, I don't know. I don't know why I didn't do this always forever, because it was just so enjoyable to do laundry. I feel like that's maybe a stretch. It wasn't like enjoyable to do laundry, but it was the most enjoyable laundry has ever been, maybe because of like the height and convenience of it. So if you have some kitchen counter space, or maybe even like your dining room table, I just feel like the height of it is so much nicer than a bed. So if you haven't done that, or you're not in the habit of doing that, give it a try, see how it goes. Okay, so this was actually the next evening. I just did a quick tidy in the theater room. It was obviously a disaster and needed so much love and care in here. And also, yeah, I still have pumpkins up from the fall. I have not even taken them down out of here. I just kind of forgot about them. And then Christmas rolled around and I didn't even get around to decorating for Christmas up in this space. You know, there were a lot of things going on behind the scenes. And yeah, that's how it went. But the space felt so much nicer once it was cleaned. And I've shared this before, but like when you really thoroughly clean a space, it stays so much nicer for so much longer. But I feel like once it starts getting a little chaotic, chaos definitely invites chaos. So I've been super happy that I spent a little time on this evening working in this room. And the blow-up mattress in here is actually because the boys have been having like some sleepovers in here. I thought it would be a lot of fun to do like a movie night and blow up the mattress for them. So that's originally why it was here. And then they just have kind of been enjoying sleeping in here sometimes. So anyway, that's why we have that random mattress in here.
Through your house.
So you can see for parts of this, I was actually talking, and I was not talking to myself. I was on the phone, and it was just nice. Sometimes it's nice. I can talk to my mom or my sisters or like one of my best friends as I'm working. I'll do that a lot, like while I'm cleaning and doing stuff around the house. But that is kind of what I wanted to end this trickle down therapy session, if you will. That's kind of what I wanted to end it on, is talking about the pillars of self-care. So like I spoke about in the beginning of the video, with self-care, I feel like it's so often that we just think about the pampering side of self-care, like, oh, make sure you're doing eye masks and make sure you're putting lotion on and make sure you take a bubble bath. Those are great self-care options. And while that is absolutely true, those are great self-care options, they are not the only forms of self-care. So my current therapist has been like really big on self-care, especially with all the things going on in my life right now. She's like, you need to make sure that you're doing self-care because of all the reasons I talked about earlier. But she specifically talked about in so many different sessions that there are different forms of self-care. I believe there's like 3 different pillars. So you have physical. So that could be something like going for a walk, going and working out, doing something with your body. Another pillar of self-care is social. So talking on the phone to a friend or a family member, going and hanging out with people, that is really important. And then the other pillar is like emotional or spiritual. So that could be like journaling or meditating. Those are really important. And what she has recommended for me, and what I would recommend to honestly everybody, is make sure that you are doing one item of self-care every single day. It can be whatever you want. The more you do, the better. But I would challenge you this week to do one item of self-care every single day this week. Come back next Monday and report back. Let me know if you did it. And also pay attention, like, did it make you feel more grounded? Did it make you feel better this week? And I bet you will find that it does. So anyway, that is all for today. Let me know if you would like another trickle down therapy session. I thought it was a lot of fun, and I have a lot more on my list that I can share if you guys are interested. So comment below, let me know. I also wanted to remind you to make sure to check out Merit and all of their amazing discounted bundles that they have right now. Everything will be linked down below. I hope you guys have an incredible rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.